Vegas now, O.J. Simpson is addressing the court.
All my kids, I talked to my sisters. I called the Brown family, and I told them I had a chance to get some of our property back. Property that over the years we've seen being sold on the internet. We've seen pictures of ours that were stolen from our home going into the tabloids. We've called the police and asked what to do. They told us what to try to do, but you can never find out who was selling it. And this was the first time I had an opportunity to catch the guys red-handed who had been stealing from my family. I knew these guys. I did think Mike Gilbert would be there. And I know, as they told me, the two guys there, that he was the one who did it. But I have no hatred for Mike Gilbert. In the past, as we know, you heard on the tape, Mike Gilbert tried to set me up in a porn video, tricked me into a room with hidden cameras. And they still wrote in the newspaper and the tabloids, they still had cover stories that O.J. did it, even though there was no porn video, even though I didn't participate in it. I forgave Mike. I yelled at him, and I forgave him, just like I yelled at Bruce and Beardsley. And I've forgiven them. We've talked about it, Beardsley and I, the next day. And Bruce and I have hugged and talked about it. His kids have called me since this. We've apologized to each other. The only person I requested to help me here was Mr. Stewart. I did request him. I needed his car. I asked him if he had some guys to help me remove these things from the room. I didn't ask anybody to do anything but to stand behind me, allow me to yell at these guys, and then help me remove those things. And if they wouldn't let me remove them, we would call the cops on them, because I felt that they were wrong. They had turnover orders, and they hadn't turned over some of these things that were both garnishable and things that were not garnishable. I didn't want them to yell at them. I think Mr. McClintock in the previous trial said that I didn't ask them to yell at anybody. Unfortunately, they did, and I believe it was my fault because I brought them there. And I knew the character of a couple of the guys that were there, and it was my fault that they were there. But in no way did I mean to hurt anybody, to steal anything from anyone. I spoke to Bruce before I left the room. He told me what was his, and I called him, and I got to the car and I said, exactly what do you have? I want to send it back to you. I talked to the police officers. I volunteered immediately to come back, show them what was taken, and to tell them what took place before anybody talked to the police. I was the first guy to volunteer to do it, and I heard on the tapes that they thought I was stupid for doing it. But I didn't want to steal anything from anybody. I don't think anybody there said I wanted anybody else's stuff, just my own. I wanted my daughter, who Miss Brown gave her mother's wedding ring, stolen. You know, my kids who had pictures, my oldest son has his own family now. He wanted the picture in the Oval Office with Gerald Ford when he was 5 years old. Stolen. All of these things are gone. My family knew what we were doing. And I don't want to hurt Bruce. I didn't want to hurt any of these guys. I know these guys. These guys have eaten in my home. I've done book reports with their kids. I sung to their mothers when they were sick. You know, I wasn't there to hurt anybody. I just wanted my personal things. And I realized now I was stupid of me. I am sorry. I didn't mean to steal anything from anybody, and I didn't know I was doing anything illegal. I thought I was confronting friends and retrieving my property. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all of it. But all the other guys, except Mr. Stewart, volunteered. They wanted to go. Mr. Stewart is the only person that I asked, would he come to help me? All the rest of them, when they found out, they volunteered. Come on, let us go. One of them wanted to be the security guy. He claimed he was a security guy. But I didn't mean to hurt anybody, and I didn't mean to steal from anybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Bryson, on behalf of Mr. Stewart, what would you like to say?
Again, we're going to split it. It's not going to take very long.
It's fine.
I would like to start out and thank the court for dismissing the coercion counts. I think that is appropriate, and also the state for stipulating to that. I would join in the argument by Mr. Grasso regarding
pretty sad, pretty pathetic-looking O.J. Simpson there in court. Pretty emotional, close to breaking down, being given a moment to address the court before sentencing and explaining his side of the story. As I recall, Simpson had that opportunity to take the stand during the trial in chief and did not testify under cross-examination at that time. Simpson trying to explain, you heard it there, why he took part in a botched attempt to recover sports mementos and personal items from two memorabilia dealers back in September of 2007. O.J. Simpson saying, I'm sorry, that he didn't mean to hurt anyone. Over and over again, I'm sorry. If you'd like to continue to watch the sentencing hearing, you can just go to CNN.com/live as O.J. Simpson just moments ago pleading for mercy from the court. We're back in a moment. You're in the CNN Newsroom.